Good afternoon. I didn't quite make it before morning, but Judy Allen here, San Antonio, Texas. And it is good to be home, right? It seems like I've been gone forever, but I've actually only been gone a week. I went to Las Vegas for backstage, so I'll share more of that tomorrow night, Thursday, on the 20th, because tonight's my husband's birthday, or today is, right? And, and I've also went straight home, flew in Thursday night, late, unpacked, washed clothes, repacked them, and left Saturday, right, for a 5-year-old birthday party. Tons of fun. I have to say my granddaughter wanted to know where all my curls and waves were. And I told her I was sorry. I had blow dried my hair and sprayed it, right? So today, I wore it with the waves, right? So yesterday, my hair was like really curly and wavy. And it was all the humidity where they live, right? So I took pictures and sent it to her and said, look, here's all the curls. And I didn't get rid of them. I didn't get rid of the curls and the waves. It's just between humidity, right? Or let my hair air dry, it makes it happen. So there you go. That's the secret. Most time when you see it straight, it's because I've blow dried it, put hairspray on it so it stays in place and doesn't come in my face. So this part always wants to come in my face. So today we're going to make a tissue box cover. And we're going to do it with a Nutcracker kit. I'm actually doing a Nutcracker Tea Class. December 1st and 2nd. December 1st is in the evening, and December the 2nd, I've actually added a morning component as well as the afternoon component, right? So you're going to get tea as well as you get a Nutcracker, complete Nutcracker kit, and we're going to make some cards with it. And some people have opted to do the tissue holder. So I'm going to do that for you today because it can be done with anything, right? So I'm going to do it with Nutcracker, but I'm going to show you two other possibilities I have with me. Because while I was on the road trip, I got to be a passenger this time instead of the driver the whole time. So I actually took kits with me. So there's always things I do on a road trip, right? I can either read a book, because it doesn't bother me. I can make cards, especially ones that I'm not stamping. But I've also made ones that I did require stamping. I just stamped them later. But this trip, I made two that required no stamping. And then I worked on tutorials in the vehicle. Now, I have to tell you, that was a little bit challenging. With moving the car and somebody hitting bumps and this, that, and the other. But I survived and got most of it done anyway. So let's go down the hands. Let me show you what I got today. Because I still have a senior class today, too. Woo, woo. So there. Let's go down the hands. Let me show you what we got going. All right. So this is the kit we're using, right, to do our tissue holder today. And I also use this here. I embossed the sides. So you're going to see where I embossed the sides here. And I was looking for my buffer before the live, and I didn't get it. Okay, that's okay. All right, got my this kit right here. So this is what I worked on, right? These are just two. Look how cute. I love it because, I'm in the car, and I know I got Thanksgiving kits to get out between now and the weekend. And I wanted to make sure I had plenty of Christmas, too, because we usually send our Christmas stuff out as close as we can after Thanksgiving, right? So this is one kit I made in the vehicle. All right, quick and easy. These are actually back in stock now. Hooray, because they are way too cute. Way too stinking cute. So I actually have another one, too, that I can put together. And then this is a new kit that came out the first of the month. And I went and put those together, too. Because, got a lot going on. I have new team members, and I want to make sure to get something to them. This is cute because the picture didn't have the balloons in it. If you look at it right here, it doesn't show the balloons in it, but there was balloons in the kit. I thought, how fun is that, right? It has some balloons and everything like that. I do have a convertible. Mine doesn't look like that, but I do have a convertible. And then you also have packages and gifts. So it's just a really cute, fun set that I did. And I got this all completed, too. This one had 9 cards, and the other one, I think, had 8. I'm not sure offhand. All I know is I occupied my time, right? And I need to converse when I need to. All right, so I have taken, let's get started with the box. So here's a tissue box, right? And if I were you, I would measure it. I am not confident that all tissue boxes are created equal. This one happens to be about 4 1/4 by 5 1/4, it looks like. I don't know if there's measurements on the bottom. Sometimes they do. This one has 8 1/4. That just tells you the tissue. So it didn't really tell me the box, okay? So I actually played around with it. So this is actually my first one here. And you see it's just a little bit short, right? So it's going to matter if you want it to come all the way down or not. So I do want mine to come all the way down. So I have modified what was here, and I'm going to show you what it is. Now, what I did with the rubber band, when the band just helped hold things tighter together as I put the lid on, all right? So let's go back to what I've done here. First thing I did is I sit there, I got all my little pieces right in here. Here is the top, and I will tell you it is easiest to sit up there and do your top and cut your circle through this at the same time. Because I'll tell you why. Because as I rotate this circle around, you're going to see that if I think I've got something centered, I may be just a smidgen off, right? On the other one that I did here, you can tell that when I redid it, I didn't do them together, and see here, it was just off a little bit. I just put the circle back on and recut through both layers. And you can do that, right? Now, this one will line. So when I get this one to the right side, it'll line up perfectly, right? See, I want it to line up like this. Now, the reason why it's separate is because when you emboss, right, it'll sit there. If you've already got this on and have to run it back through the die cut, it's going to flatten it somewhat, and I didn't want to do that. So what I did is I just put a dab of tear and tape in the middle, put this is actually Poppy Parade, and I put them together and cut my circle out so it was exactly like I wanted it, right? And then that was fine. I came up with a circle in the end, and I have my two pieces. So this is actually, see if I can tell you what size this is here. This is actually 4 7/16. This green part is 4 7/16 by 4 7/16. And this one is 4 1/4 by 4 1/4. And I'm just, since I've got this together already right now, I'm just going to go ahead and adhere these two together because I can line it up. And I just wanted it centered, right? Now, I used tear and tape for everything I did. And I'm going to convert back over to tear and tape, except this part right here. Now, this is not two-tone cardstock. I do have some two-tone cardstock that I can show you that I can easily put on the sides and everything as well, too. It's just whatever your personal preference is. When I did this, I didn't have any two-tone Poppy Parade cardstock handy for me. But see, I'd already lined this up about as evenly as I thought I wanted it when I sat there and die cut it, right? So that's why this is the way it is. I just sort of centered it the best I could. I'll put that there because that's going to be our top, okay? Put that right there. Okay, so now we're going to do the sides. Now our sides are 5 3/4 by 9 3/16, and we do 2 of them, okay? So let me put that there for us. That'll be there for this. Okay, so here we have this. This is, what color are you? Well, I don't have to worry about straining my brain on that because what I did is I took the Nutcracker directions and I sat there and it's colors on back. It's one of our new colors. So if you're not sure what colors to use, I use this back here. I use Shy Shamrock is what I have here. And this one suggested Poppy Parade. So I'm using Poppy Parade. I got other colors I could use, right? But those are the ones I'm using from the suggested. All right, now the thing is I wanted to make sure that when I put my lid on, see, this is going to come to the bottom. All right, so this is designed so you can sit up there, and once your tissue box is empty, you can reuse this, right? So I'm going to take my scissors, and we're just going to trim off the ends here, the corners. And I think I'm going to trim them off. I haven't been home and haven't been in my area here. And I'm not seeing scissors. How is that possible? I know no one's brave enough to use this. Well, I am not here. And I really have to have scissors, right? Okay, so let me grab some scissors here a second if I find some handy. All right, you might have to excuse me just a minute. So I grabbed some scissors because I haven't been home, so... All right, I have to grab some scissors on you. Idea, right? So you got to see what things look like when I'm baking. So you can see that I still have a lot. I have my Thanksgiving stuff. I have my Christmas stuff. So all of that stuff will be moving out next week, right? So there you go. So that's special. I'll have to find out. People do use my area, and I'm not here. So I'm not sure what happened, but I'm sure somebody will have an answer since I have been gone for a good week. Okay, so I'm just trimming this off, right? So we're just doing it just like we're doing any other box. So this is going to be for our tissue box, right? So there's the end down here. And I'm just coming across right like there. Okay, so just like we do a normal V. So I don't know about you, but right? A lot of things are happening. So we have Thanksgiving next week, right? And everybody in the world is having some kind of sale, including Stampin' Up. So if you haven't seen it, we have a Black Friday sale coming up to 40% off. Okay, so we have this right here. We're going to put some tear and tape on it in a minute, and we're going to go ahead and do this down here. You know, we have plenty of kits, so yes, if you like the truck kit, it is in right now. Because I just got some more. Because I sent out over 100 Christmas cards. So for me, right, everything I create, it doesn't matter if it's whether I have a team gathering and we create, whether I do a retreat or do my lives here, wherever I create Christmas cards, right? I use them. All right, so there we go. We got this trimmed off right here, and we got this right here too. So we're just going to form this. We're going to adhere the sides together, and it's just easy to do with tear and tape. I only have like 4 or 5 pair of scissors or more, so it's always interesting. All right, so I like to do mine on the outside so that I have a smooth finish. So I'm just going to put this tear and tape right here on this. It's like 5/16 of a flap. So if you're not sure what 5/16 is, it's small. 4/16 would be 1/4 of an inch, so it's a 1/16 inch more, and it is on your paper trimmer. So find your 4th, find your 1/8, and then right in between that is your 1/16, and that is the smallest it goes, right, until you go, unless you go 2 centimeters. So we're just going to go ahead and get this here. All right, so this is actually going to put the sides of our box together. And then we got the top to put on as well, too. And we got the sides. So actually, really and truly, I have a tendency to build this first. But I will show you. Let's go ahead and do this real quick, because this will be easy to do, I think. All right, so I actually have 2 choices here. This is the 2-tone cardstock. You can see how the white is already showing through for me embossing. Well, all I got to do is take my nail buffer block and come across here, and it's going to give me a nice little rustic look there. I've also got this here. This is Poppy Parade, and this is, you can see where I've done that embossing on it right here. So actually, I'm going to put this on the sides, right? And I can go any different way. The words just come out any way they want to. So in my mind, this would be easier to put on here right here like this, right? So I'm just going to go ahead and get this on here. I'm going to use tear and tape. Because tear and tape is a little bit more forgiving than glue. Glue is forgiving as long as it's still wet, right? Once it starts drying, or it's dried, right, it doesn't want to give. This will give as long as I don't like mash everything down really tight, right? If I just lightly put it on to begin with, then I can still maneuver with it. So that's one thing about tear and tape. But once you've pressed it down good too, right? It's no different than the glue. They're both designed for the 3D project, and this is most definitely a 3D project. But it's quick and easy. So like when we do the classes, right? I already pre-cut, embossed, and everything for you. So we're really just assembling. So I'm just going to center this up. Now it's really good. Now see, I've got the score lines here. And I did that so I can see what I'm doing. So if you prefer to do it flat like this, that's fine. Just center it up. I'm just looking at it and eyeballing it right now, right? So I'm just trying to make sure I get my distance the same. And I'm just going to go ahead and put this top part down here. Okay, and I have this here. See, you can see I don't have that mashed down really hard, and so it wants to come off, right? It'll come off. You see, I'm just going to put it right there. And then we're just going to do this all the way around. Now, so I've done this so we can do it on all 4 sides. Okay? And then we have the last one here. I'll get it here. So because this is right square, it's going to make it easier. All right? So you can see how it's going to look right here. And we're going to just go ahead and keep on doing it and get it done. I think it's just easier when we're going to do the 4 sides. I've done it the other way, right? You've seen me before where I put something together and I just go and put it on afterwards, just fine. It'll work that way too. But since I'm just going to get this done this way. I think the nutcrackers are really cute. So I have a couple ideas, right? There's more than one idea, right? You don't have to do it. You could put a nutcracker on all 4 sides. Wouldn't that be cool? We can also leave 2 sides, do a front and back more or less with the nutcrackers on it. That way, no matter where it's sitting in your home decor, in your home, you got a nice, pretty home decor piece. And then, right, we can add other things too, because I'm thinking just like those cards I just showed you with the dog. I think that would be really cute. And I'm just going to line this up here. And I'm going to just try to eyeball it and see I get it about the same distance and everything and all. Alright, so I got it right there. And we're just going to peel the rest off. So I think this is nice because you can sit there, right? And if you run out of tissues, you just change boxes. Now it's, you know, as long as it's the same box, it'll fit perfectly over. And I'll show you. Let's see here. So it seems like, see how it looks like I got that just a little diagonal off, so that's okay. See, because I didn't like really super hard press it down. See, I can sit there and maneuver it still. Let's see how that's going to look now. So see when I fold that back how that's going to look? Okay, so I still have this top up here, this one here. So that's what I tell you, if you sit there and don't really like mash it down super hard, you still have maneuverability, right? So you didn't quite get it as straight as you wanted, you can. Alright, so I got this one here. And I'm going to do the same thing with this one. Now, keep in mind, this is going to be folded in. Alright. And we'll show you that in just a second. I'm looking at this. So see, it's going to go just like this. And I'll just go ahead and do this one here for you. So I did. I got this as close to the edge as I could, right? Because all I want to do is line this up with that scored line. So whatever is easiest for you, right? Whatever is easiest. We just want to make sure it lines up because this is going to be in the box. You know, it's always different when you do things live versus when you do in person. It's like, you know, there was nothing I was wrestling with when I made this earlier. I made this before. There we go. Alright, so see how that looks? Alright, so we've joined 2 pieces. Right, I just didn't want the flap out there because we're going to cover this, remember? Alright, so let me go and get the last 2 sides on here. And then I want to make this square, and you're going to see how easy this slides just right over. Yeah, so I didn't emboss everything, right? Because when you emboss, just like I did with this here, it causes it maybe to shrink just a smidgen, right? Just a smidgen. So if you sit there and emboss everything, you'd have to keep that in mind. You might have to make some different adjustments. But this is going to fit this just the way it is. And we get all the sides done. Yes, so I have a senior class today that we actually color in their class. So I do some cards for them that we're going to color. Because a lot of them like to color. So we're still at that. So I don't know about you, but I've got to, you know, right? It's all about getting as much of our Christmas done as possible because next week's Thanksgiving. And it just seems like after that, everything has become fast and furious. Whether we want it to or not. Right? Because everything about preparing and so forth. Also, for me, it's like, all right, I need 100 Christmas cards. So the thing is if I don't have enough, and I have to make some of it I'll do in kits, right? Just like I did this. And then some I will sit there and just make some quick and simple cards. right? Because people like your handmade cards, whether it's simple, whether it's rocket science, right? They just the fact that you actually made something for them, because it's all about, right? Creating, sharing, and giving. So if you saw in the background, well, I went to grab my scissors, one of many that I have. I have to ask people what happened to the ones that were up here. But anyway, you could see I had gingerbread items out, because yes, we have a gingerbread mystery box, but we also had it in the retreat. And I also had some from the handmade cookie one. And I also have my harvest stuff out, right, for Thanksgiving. So actually I have candles in them already. For me, it's just a matter of waiting for company to get here, and I will have my candles on, right? I shouldn't say candles. It's right, it has no flame. No, they call them no flame candles, right? Because they're operated by battery. So yes, it's amazing when it's operated by a battery. So my princess was concerned about my waves and my curls and what happened to them. Actually, we did a Teach Me Sophia on Monday. She wanted to do a Teach Me Sophia like Nana does a Teach Me Nana. So it was cute. We did airbrushing. She wanted to demonstrate airbrushing. Alright, so here we go. So here's our 4 sides. We joined the one side there that you can see. Now we're going to come and join this side here. Now see, when I fold my box, all I've got to do is that. So that's how easy this is. And I'm going to show you how easy I'll slip over the box. I'm just going to come over here. And my sides are going to match up. Okay? Alright. So here's our box. Now I will tell you when I did this first. Looky there. Now see, this is what I wanted. See how it goes all the way to the bottom? And I've got this here on the top. Now I can put those down, which I did. Now this is why I used rubber band, because I wanted everything to hold tight, right, while I was sitting up here doing it. And this rubber band was actually better because it has not been all stretched out yet. So I just did it like this, right, just to keep this all pulled together as I put the top on, right? So I can sit there and do this just like this. In fact, I'm going to just do this right here, right now. Because if you do see how I'm taping this down, because it's not going to matter, right? This is all going to be hidden. And I'm going to do the same thing here. So that's why sometimes when I do ribbon and all, I'll tell you just use tear and tape to hold it down. Because if it's going to be hidden, what does it matter, right? So what I am going to do here on these two, because it's going to be right there by the edge. And I can do this one just a little bit more here. I'm going to lift it up just a little bit. I'm going to lift it up. Because I want to just get this as close to the edge as I can, right? Because that's going to be how tight my lid's going to be, right? Is wherever I put this, this is how tight the lid's going to be. So I want to get it as close to the edge as I can. And I'm just going to tear it off. Okay? And I'm going to go to the other side, do the same thing. Which I can actually tear those off now. You can see I held it down for me. Like, that's what I like. Still have the rubber band just there because I can, right? It's not going to hurt anything one way or the other. But I'm going to do the same thing with the lid as I did with the sides, alright? We're just going to take our time. And this is a square, right? So I'm just going to put it right here, square it off on one end. It should be squared off on the other. If not, just check your corners, right? So just check your corners first. All right. Now see, I've got that lined up. All right, so I'm going to do this right here. I'm going to take this off here. So the thing is, right, you just need to make sure your hole's big enough, right, that you can do this. So I actually used this one. It's from Modern Christmas that I used on this circle here. But I could have used Stylish Shaped Dies. Has a circle. Also does, so does, I'm trying to think what it's called right now. It'll come to me. It's Notes. Anyway, it's got those there too. Alright, so here we are. We got the top and the sides, and we put this down right here. And we really don't need this now, right? I just want everything to hold together while I did this. What you can see here, here's the side of our box and everything's covered. So yeah, so somebody grabs just the top, it's going to come out, right? But that allows you to change out as you go. All right, so now we're just going to take from our Nutcracker kit, and actually this was actually a tag, so I'm just cutting the tag off, right? And then let's get our Nutcracker. So this for Nutcracker, I stayed with everything that was with it. So it has the words believe. It also has, I brought a couple of extra things too. Let me get this all out here. It's got a little static here. Everything wants to stay. Okay. So what I've done here is our, so this, it's got instructions, right, to make your Nutcracker. So we're just taking this from the Nutcracker that they have to go with it, and we're just going to put it right there, okay? And I'm just going to put it down with tearing tape. Right down the middle is all I need to do. See if you can see that. We're just going to come right down the middle. And I'm going to just put it down. This is what I like about kits, right? You can take kits like this. This is a tag kit. The one this month for Paper Pumpkin is going to be treat boxes. But you know what? You can take those and make them into cards, right? Or anything else. So put this here. And then here's our Nutcracker, which we're going to put right here. And I'm just going to cut this off a little bit. I wasn't going to keep that on. I'm just going to go ahead and just cut around the top here, just sort of like the hat right there at the top. Okay. So you see, all we're doing is some slight modifications. I'm going to put this on here with dimensionals. And then we're just going to do like they would have you do in the kit, right? They have you put the hat on. I'm trying to see if I have a regular dimensional. Maybe not. I mean, those are all mini. Okay, there we go. You can use the mini for the other. All right, so I'm just going to put this on here, give it some height, right? There's no reason why, just because it's a tissue box, that you can't have height, right? And have your three-dimensional. So we're going to take this here and put it on here. So it will be a little bit different layout than they have on the card because we're actually consuming some of our space, right? So I'm just putting it here because that was a tag. Now this right here, I'm going to put right here. Okay, so this part is going to be flat on the Nutcracker, and the other is going to be on a dimensional. And there's more, right? That's not all to it. Because actually we have a hat to put on the Nutcracker, as well as, let's see if I can get that off there, as a mustache. Now this actually comes out. I didn't see that right there. It's still in there. So that actually pokes out. Hope I didn't glue it on there. That was the thing I was looking at. Let's see if I glued it. Okay, so we're doing this right here, and the other part's going to be, so you see that right there, but it doesn't matter, right? Nobody's going to see it. Nobody's going to see it. All right, so I'm going to put this right here. And I just got believe, right? Believe in the magic. All right, and this here is a little hat that goes on top that comes in the kit as well, too. Right? And all you do is just line it up. That's how simple that is. You're just going to line it up with the hat that's there. And you'll know, right? Because all the colors coordinate. You have 4 Nutcrackers in there, and they each had their own hat and everything else, right? And this one has a mustache. So we're going to put the mustache on. So it's right, I can't use a full dimensional on that, but see here, you can just take one of the parts here that's on the edge, and it'll fit perfectly. So I'm just going to put that pointy edge right around the center there. And we're going to do this here. You know, the kits really make it easy for you. You're not having to really think about it, right? Okay, so the other part that we have that came with this was we have this here. And this is, okay, that did not, looky there. Did not see that. Looks like that pokes out, maybe. So I'm going to say I made the Nutcrackers. I don't know if I poked it out or it just came out on its own. Alright, so you know that's there. And then this is, we're just going to put this right here. Again, we're just going to take dimensionals. I am just going to use this, I think a full one will fit. I think that's what I used originally. If not, let's then use the side. Okay, again, all this is already there. And I can tear that off easily, right? Or you can use your scissors. Yeah, keep in mind, I just got through being with grandkids. And everything is like need for speed, right? So, yeah, the scissors were not available. Even at dinner time, knives were not available, right? Okay, so I'm just going to put this right up here. And I'm just going to give it a touch of Wink of Stella. And then we just have the other side so you can decorate as much as you want, right? So I'm just going to put some Wink of Stella. And the other thing I brought too, you just have to tell me what you think, is I actually had this gold piece right here that I thought would really be nice. Just one, not a whole lot, just one. This was actually left over when I was working on a project on the Modern Christmas. These remind me of stars, right? I'm not sure what they would technically call it, but anyway, I used this to create some other stuff, and I had some left over, and I thought, how cool is that? All right, so it just gets a little extra touch. This also came with black ribbon, and we could wrap black ribbon around the top, bottom, whatever. But so then we can rotate over, and we can do one on every single side. Now, I personally was just going to do one on each side because I really wanted to buff this here. And we'll get a buffer here, and I'll show you the difference because it does make a difference. So when you do this here, and this is what I was talking about, we had choices, right? So if I just came and buffed this, now you can only do this on the two-tone cardstock, right? Because it's got a white core. Stampin' Up's regular cardstock does not have a white core. So that's why this technique works. All right. I couldn't find you. Now I have you. All right. So see how we're just going to rough it up a little bit, give a nice little extra different type of texture by just doing that. We've done this in the retreat, and we've also done this in our club. Because I do teach club, in the club, I really try to focus on some kind of technique every month. Technique or two, whatever time allows. But see how that would look if we put that right there? Or I should say the offside. So let's say, but it's a different color, right? This is not Poppy Parade. This is actually real red. See if you had that on this side, and on the two off sides you did that. I think that would be perfect. But let's go ahead and let's put another one here. So we have choices, right? So actually, these are the two I have left. I have this one here, and then I have two more. So you can see they're all just a little bit different. They're similar but different. So I'm still going to stay with the coordination of colors, right? So if you can see here, that if I use this one here, that they've actually got the bluish tone background there. It's most probably Pool Party. That was the one with the green, right? So, I mean, that is one thing. You don't really have to really guess, right? Because it's like they've sort of just pointed that out for you. And then I just have it right here. And they're really they're in order. It's basically what I'm doing. So I'm just take that off. And we're just going to do the same thing we did a minute ago. I'm just going to cut this off here. Yeah, so if you're looking for the tutorial, whatever, I will have that in my Sunday, 12 Weeks of Christmas. Yeah, the tutorial will be there. If you're interested in the tutorial, you just need to subscribe to my newsletter so you can get it. Yep, and you know what? You have all the previous weeks there too, so it's a mixture of things that I've done. And we still have, I think I'm only on week 7 or 8. I'm trying to think. I posted it Sunday and I don't remember. Right? Because I went to a birthday party. Yes, a 5-year-old birthday party. Then I had Nana time with the kiddos. And then I had time with the adults too, right? Got to spend time with my kiddos and not just the grandkids. All right, so we're just going to put this on here. So, yes, I have 5 new team members. So, it's like, and, we're already we already get to pre-order for the mini catalog that's going to be coming out in January, and some new online exclusives as well too. So we were busy looking at that and checking out what we got coming on. So I did the same thing here. See how they have For You? I just stuck with whatever was on, right? It's just to make it simple. You can change things around as much as you want, right? But I just kept it as simple as I could. It's like, I want to get a tissue box done. I want to be able to get my nutcrackers to look like the nutcrackers like they did, right? So I didn't really need to go out and do anything special. I just wanted to be able to come and create with you and show you how simple it was to use the nutcrackers for something besides a tag, right? You can use them as a tag. I'll use them as tag. I've got several boxes, but I got so I got several boxes, mainly for the class. But you know, I sit there and I actually keep one for me, right? So when I do the class, I can show them, but I'll also have examples as well too. So these are the examples. So this is like the example I'll have for people to make a tissue box. Now I'll tell you, with the one kit, like if you took the tea and nutcracker class, so if you wanted a nutcracker on all four sides, and we're going to make 3 cards from the nutcrackers, that will use 7 out of 8 of your nutcrackers. So if you wanted more, you can get more, right? You just have to order another kit. But just, you know, doing what we're doing, we will use, especially if you want to do the tissue box, right? You're going to use pretty much everything that's in the kit, except for one. Now, so they do end up with some extras of these, and they even show you the colors. So if you're not sure what color, let me just show you. And this is why I like doing things with the kits too, right? So this is the one I'm doing right now. So you can see that we're going to use the Pool Party. Could be Costa Cabana, and we're gonna take it. I'm just gonna put it up here as well too, just like I did the other one. Yeah, it was part of one. I need part of one. There's part of one right there. Yep, right. I'm just gonna go to the edge there because that's all I need. I can do the same thing here. See, I can just curve it around there, and it'll work just fine. We'll add a little Wicca Stella just like we did a while ago. But it's your card, right? Your box, it's your tissue box. You can do whatever you want. So I can do the same thing I did over there. I can take my Wink of Stella just like I did. We can add the Wink of Stella here. And anywhere else you want to add it. You can even put bling here if you wanted to. And just like the other side, I'm going to add this right here. Just gives a little touch of gold with all the other gold around it. You don't have to, but I am because I have them, and I try to keep things I have extra of, and I think I might use it. I keep it, right, so I can use it. So that'll look just like the other side right there. Now I'm just going to stop at that. I still have more to do the sides over here, just so you can get an idea and see. Now I will tell you, you have, when you do the kits, you do have more than what's in the kit. So see here, we got 3 times 4 is 12, and there is... Well, there is 12. 3, 6, yeah, there's 12. So there's 12. I was thinking there was some extras. It must have been the extras of the hats or something. There's some extra. I remember finishing and there's some extras left over. What I would tell you to do is anything you have extra left over, I would add it on these sides right here. Or some other options. I even had a Christmas tree, right? So I could easily add some Christmas trees to this, and this would be just as nice too. I haven't decided that yet. I really like the idea of putting a nutcracker on every single side. So you can see I've done 2 on this side right here. 1 here. I left this blank, which I had the other option of the ones that I just sanded off some of the color. And here's the other one right here. So like I said, you have twine you could add to it as well. You could add ribbon if you wanted to. I chose not to. And just like up here, you could sit there and add some of the little gold pieces like I had here. Right? It'd be very easy to add some of those. In fact, I'm just going to add one right there because I have more. I have more, right? I always have more. Because these are nice because I think I could cut 4 at a time through the die cutter, right? So anything that really makes my life easier. And I can put another one up there if I wanted to too, right? Just to give a little bit of something there. And I have some extra pieces I know left over for the kids. So I hope you enjoyed that. And see how easy that comes off? Ta-da! And then I can sit there and add more tissue if we use up all the tissue. So I hope you enjoyed that, right? Because it's just fun and easy, as you saw, and it didn't take that long to do. So there's no reason why you can't go out there, create, share, and give, and make a difference, right? That's what it's all about. It's about making a difference and touching someone else's life. So I hope you enjoyed it. And I want to thank you for supporting me and following me here on not only on Facebook, but also on YouTube and Instagram. You know, I came in level 1 for sales with the Stampin' Up year that ended at the end of September. I couldn't have done it without you, and thank you for all of your support. So with that, be blessed. Look forward to seeing you next week. I'm not sure what we're going to do next week because it's supposed to be something Christmas, right? Because it's time to get all that Christmas stuff out and Christmas decorations. All right, be blessed. Look forward to seeing you soon. Bye.